Hello. Here is a de facto review for this week. April 24, 2022, Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. This review is with me, Jargal Saikhan, and we will cover 3 events happened last week in political, economic, and social life of Mongolia. The topics are political parties demand an amendment of the constitution to avoid political crisis. Second topic, the second budget supplementary is proposed by the government amid economic hardships. Third topic about social life, anti-corruption fight, inspection and arrests for long-going scandals. So these are 3 topics we would like to cover today with you. So first topic, about political life. Mongolian political parties, in particular 5 of them, have made press conference. This is second demand of them. The previous was 10 political parties demand almost the same from the speaker. And they have prepared a letter of demand, which includes, due to current crisis, we need to solve fundamental issues of economic and political problems of Mongolia today. After 30 years of what we have done, it's a time to reconsider the path we have chosen and to improve, to make it better. And they have demanded 4 things. First, to change election system of the country. Second, to strengthening national security. Third, to have budget austerity. Fourth, to increase the parliament members to 125 to 215. Currently, we have 76 seats. So these 4 requests or demands are included in this letter of demand addressed to the speaker. Let's highlight particular one demand of these 4. This is about the election system. The argument is the ruling party, current ruling party, Mongolian People's Party, had got 42% of votes. However, they got 82% of seats, which clearly shows that it is not representing the really all wish of Mongolian voters and people. And that's why it gives a monopoly advantage to one party. So it's a time to change the electorate system of the country. And with this system, by the way, it goes also not only the election system itself. It is an issue of the constituency, which is a big problem, as Prime Minister was also highlighting in recent his speech to the Parliament, that 76 small majoritarian system creates big problem for budget, because each small administrative unit demands on a road, and each parliament member who have elected from that administrative unit demanding a particular consideration for its constituency. That's why Mongolia are making a lot buildings, other objects not necessarily meets the demand of the particular location. As a result, we kind of having 76 ministries of finance. So that is the main issue they have demanded, and it is to be included into the next round of amendments to the Mongolian constitutions, which the current ruling party is talking about recently a lot. The main reason is from the last amendments of the constitution from 2 years before. For example, they have limited the amount of parliament members to be in the cabinet, only 4, and the prime minister has first time very high power, and he can hire and fire his ministers, and only 4 parliament members can be ministers, which we call it with ministers with a double dale or double mandate. So that's why, in connection with creation of 2 new ministries, there are more parliament members who would like to be ministers. So in that connection also, as people say, they are looking for another amendments of the constitutions. As far as the parliament members amount is concerned, yes, this country needs more parliament members, because 76 was almost 30 years ago, when the population was almost twice less than at the current moment. So with this demands of the political parties, hopefully there will be better political system which allows equal representation of the voters. Mostly they talk about the combined system, majoritarian and proportional. Hope they will be heard at the parliament. Okay, our second topic today is the budget supplementary. Is proposed by the Prime Minister, by the Cabinet, to the Parliament. And first hearing was already held on Wednesday, and the Parliament is moving very fast to approve that amendments, that budget supplementary. By the way, this is second supplementary for this year. Unfortunately, in Mongolia, there is a bad habit set for last many cabinets, that every year they make a budget, then they have always amendments. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, and this time already second. Of course, this is a corona issue, there is a war issue, there is more really pressing demand to change the budget. So what they are suggesting, before that, first supplementary was adopted on January 31st. They have accommodated the demand of the retired people, we call it pensioners. They demanded their pension payment is too small. There are over 1 million people. There are people less than 460,000 tuigs per month. There are 450,000 people receive the pensions. Out of them, 60% receives money less than 350,000 tuigs per month, which is way below even than the basic salary. So they need 600 billion tuigs to increase that minimum pension payment to 500,000 tuigs. And also there is 80 billion tuigs need for taking care of children who needs care, including disabled children, etc. They will receive 288,000 tuigs per month as before. So because the 680 billion tuigs need, they have amended the budget in January. Now, after 3 months, they need to make another budget supplementary. As Premier Oyungirdin said, it will consist of 4 parts. First, about state austerity. It is the first law ever in Mongolia talking about this state austerity, covering all government agencies, every people, organizations they have are under their budget. As a result of this work, for example, many agencies should not have deputies. Ulaanbaatar city mayor should have not more than 2 deputies, currently around 6, etc., etc. And no government agency have a right to increase their staff numbers, etc. So this year, for the first time, the government state austerity, including also not running a full-scale car or 4-wheel drive cars in rural areas. And there will be 1 state garage, which also will be run by a private company, and people, when they need expensive cars or bigger, more powerful cars, they will rent from that place. This is about 60% of state-owned cars economy. It's a huge amount, and altogether, the first state austerity will cut or remove 1,500 jobs from public offices. which certainly will meet a lot strong resistance. Second, of this austerity, the supplementary thing is preventing price increases. They will spend $100 million for fuel subsidies, and they will also another $1 billion MNT for wheat producers, and they will support by all means all producers of foods, those who are producing, storing facilities, those will have these subsidized loans. The third and very interesting part of this supplementary is, for the first time, state government have announced names of state-owned enterprise they will privatize. It will be privatized on the stock market, and nobody will receive more than 5%. They should announce it. So Mongolian Stock Exchange, Mongolian Telecom, Mongolian Technology Park, National Reinsurance. These organizations will be privatized through stock market. They have been never seen these names now, and it looks like a very bold step forward in that regard. So everybody, whoever has 5% of those companies, they should announce, or nobody can have more than 5%. The fourth component of this budget supplementary is decentralized of Ulaanbaatar city. For the first time, they will cut taxes for people investing in rural areas. And there will be substantial help from the state to have mortgage loans, almost half cut if you make in the rural areas home and you buy homes there. As a result of this four-component second supplementary of budget, there will be $245 billion will be decreased from the planned income of the budget. And the total budget revenue will be 15.5 trillion MNT. And accordingly, there will be expenses cut for the same amount of 245 billion MNT, which will make this total expenses 17.9 trillion tugriks. And this deficit will be still 2.4 trillion tugriks at the level of previous budget approval, which is 1.5% of GDP in the country. Well, as far as me concerned, analysis of this second supplementary of the budget, it will certainly increase state expenses somehow, and it is to be covered by, again, foreign or domestic loan. The government has limited budget space for increasing their debt, as Mongolian government has some $8 billion foreign debt, and 60% of them is to be paid for this term of the current government. So a lot things to do, a lot payments to pay debt, and with the current measures that the government is suggesting, hopefully will cut certainly the unnecessary expense of the state. But however, as I said before, 1,500 jobs will meet serious resistance at this time, in particular, of the double hit by COVID and the war in Ukraine. So this is the second topic of the important events of last week in Mongolia. The third topic is about anti-corruption fight. Two interesting things happened last week in Mongolia. First of all, there is a Mr. Ilkin Bilig, who is the chairman of the second largest bank in the country, Trade and Development Bank, chairman, and also Munk Batar, who is the chairman of the QSC company. They are interrelated companies, all owned by Mr. Ilkin Bilig mostly. these two gentlemen were arrested by the decision of Sukhpata, the primary criminal court of Sukhpata district. It was 2 days ago, because independent authority against corruption questioned them and searched his home, office, and took financial documents. And these two gentlemen are also accused of misappropriating public money for privatizing also certain assets and also misusing large sum from Development Bank of Mongolia. He is also investigated for allegedly privatizing Darkhan Metallurgy Plant, Khutul Cement and Lime Company, with the state funds. There are also several high-level government officials who have helped him to avoid government privilege first buying of 49% of Erdenet copper plant from Russian government. So this very long-going scandal, in particular the current Prime Minister raised the issue when he was, before Prime Ministership, he was a head of cabinet secretary, and he raised the issue, and it's a long-awaited next step. Let's see what will happen, because it will open door to many other corruption cases, including many state-owned enterprises privatized through this kind of ill scheme, I would say. So let's see what will happen in this regard. Another interesting news was this anti-corruption agency also announced that Mongolia first time have confiscated a property abroad taken by also corruption. An official, they have not named the name, specified the name, but a Mongolian state-owned enterprises, high-ranking officials have bought 1.2 million pounds sterling worth apartments of 4-room in the center of London. The particularly important thing in this case is, remember Mongolia was 2 years ago in this grey list of FATF, and they should ask it. They urged the Mongolian government to do certain steps, and one of them it was asset recovery program. And the good thing is, anti-corruption agency have implemented that program, have addressed Latvia and British Virgin Islands companies to help with mutual legal assistance. And they found this property, and only after that they have been investigating that person and questioned him, who had accepted that he had corruption. And so this is a good victory of anti-corruption agency, and there are similar certain dozen cases I was told of similar character, and hopefully Mongolia will get back those properties who were taken by corruption abroad. So it's good news. So these are three events about which I want to share with you. And so we will see you again next week, and hopefully you will follow it. Thank you very much, and see you next week.